Nobody was supposed to be sitting in here, and I saw a woman sat at this chair here. And so I double taped and was going to let her know that she was going to be in here, and I moved back and nobody was in the chair.
I'm Brett Clark, and by now you know what I'm here for. Ghosts and booze. That's why I made it a point to visit bars, pubs, eateries, and distilleries to learn about their history. Some even say haunted history. These are stories and experiences from the staff and owners themselves, maybe even told over a drink or two or four. This is Haunt Hops.
My name is Mark Beck, and I grew up in Erie, Michigan, which is right on Lake Erie, but it's north of Toledo, Ohio, south of Detroit, but it was a farming community. I grew up in a family of 8. And so I've had a life of serendipity. Nothing was ever planned, it just happened, and I've always been lucky and also unlucky. Right?
Yeah.
The two go together. So, but I've been always been lucky around business things. So I never was raised in a business family. I was raised in my dad was a security guard in a steel factory.
Oh, wow.
And my mother was a homemaker because there was 8 kids. But I went from working on farms and picking tomatoes, and as things would happen, I ended up, didn't even take a college SAT or any of that stuff. I wouldn't even go to college. And then I couldn't be an electrician because I didn't have a family member in the electrical union. I thought, well, I guess I'll just have to go to college. So I went to the local community college, and then I got ambitious and I transferred and went to University of Michigan in business.
Okay.
And got a business degree from University of Michigan. And that kind of opened up the world to me. And literally went from 2 years I was picking tomatoes on the farms. 2 years later I was flying around on private jets. When I got near retirement, I'm sort of retired, but not really, I decided to start redoing these old landmarks. So to get them to work right, we put this strip of wood on it, and I was looking at it one time, I thought, oh, that's kind of like a frame, so we just left them like they were. I had a goal to do one every 5 years.
Are you holding true to in that ballpark?
2007, no, I'm behind schedule. But I try to do spaces that make people look beautiful.
Tell me a little bit about this place, because this was like the hub for this area. There was a train depot right here, and the trains went right by the Virginia Creeper.
Yep,
is that what
Virginia Creeper.
And
that's what everybody called the train. It was the highest elevation train in the East, and it would go up these hillsides, mountainsides, and the steam train would go up so slow.
Oh,
they called it the Creeper.
That's funny.
And it was they routed the train through this area because the guy, the most politically powerful person in the county at the time, owned all this land.
Okay.
So it became a new town of West Jefferson. So they put the train right across the street, and then this became the hotel, the town's bank, the town's post office, the barber shop, the hotel lobby, bus station, police station, and the county's library were all in this one building. And the upstairs portion was the hotel. So these right here these matching fixtures are early electric. The town here, it had a decay period when the factories, it ultimately became a manufacturing town, particularly for furniture. And then when the furniture factories went away with NAFTA, when they went overseas really to China and stuff, it put the town into like a deep freeze.
Oh, wow.
So it was not a tourist town per se yet, although there's always been tourism up here, but it wasn't the dominant thing. Nothing was built and nothing was ripped down, and there was no money. So the town is remarkably unchanged, even though it's now being restored.
Oh, before I forget, thank you to Boondocks. Boondocks, this is a good Pilsner here.
Gary Brown owns Boondocks. He was original first, and they've got a young beer maker there that's fun as hell.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he makes this, and so he brings it down.
How did you find this building to decide, hey, I think I'm going to take this place and restore?
Well, it happened across the street at the hardware store. My family, we've had what originally was a weekend getaway up here. And so we'd come up here frequently, and I had little kids, and we'd go over to the hardware store. And my buddy, Calvin, is the owner, he and his son, Derek. And so I was over at the hardware store, and I was ready for my, remember, one every 5 years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was on the schedule. I said, Calvin, you got any property around this town? I'm kind of ready for a project. Anything for sale? He said, well, as a matter of fact, and you told me there is built. I said, what about that one across the street? What about that? He said, well, you can buy that too. And he wrote me a little piece of paper, a little thing, and gave me the name of the lady that owned it, the widow. And he said, she wants $1.5 million for it.
Oh, wow.
But she'll take $1 million. And he handed me the note. There's not anything close in this town, perhaps even this county, that's even remotely as important as an iconic place in Ashe County. And so it fit my profile.
Any furniture that's blue or green was here in 1917.
What we didn't anticipate, and she didn't either, we had local opposition that cropped up right away.
How is that? How's that? That's the thing that doesn't make any sense. That's weird.
Buildings have their own relationships that are apart from whoever owns them. So when you have a prominent building like this, and this one was still occupied, the way they're used gets sort of gets embedded.
Okay.
And it gets entitled. And so if you come in and you're going to fix it or change it, there's opposition. Every landmark building is like that. Because they have their relationships of people that worked there, families that have been around it, they remember things that were there. They're all like that.
Once you acquired the place and you started renovations, did you start witnessing strange occurrences in here?
There are places in the building that you do, in fact, they're hotter than other places.
16 right here is something that I feel drawn to. There's an old piece of brick in there that's a little bit older than the brick that they've added.
So you can feel stuff that is there, you just don't know what it is.
Okay.
But that's one thing. The other thing is, again, when you unlock something, you start repairing it, it unlocks things in the community. And those are sort of ghosts, in a way.
I see what you're saying.
Memories and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're impactful to this day. But we have had guests saying they've heard people walking on the roof. And that can't possibly be true because it's locked down. And also we have so much soundproofing that it would never translate steps through the roof.
You did point out this spot on
Well, that's where the lady always is.
At the top of the stairs there?
Yeah,
by
right
the
around those rails.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where they always say she is.
Okay.
The rooms had secret little hiding places. The baseboards oftentimes had little hidden doors.
Yeah?
Little tiny doors. They'd be about like this.
What?
And they were very hard to see. When you'd run across one of these little doors, you found it in the restoration because we were removing material and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you'd find one, there was always stuff stashed in there. We have a collection of what I would call 1940s porn. It was never just naked women. They were buxom pinup girls.
Yeah.
And then the next, you turn the page, and then it would be a true crime story. And it would show some bloody, horrible.
Oh, like actual crime photos?
Yeah.
Oh, get out.
So people were stashing stuff all over the place.
This place was 1915?
Yeah, originally, but the original one burnt. The original hotel burned on January 1916. There was a lot of life here, and it was a connected life and lots of relationships. And you walk through, you can feel it.
The West Jefferson Hotel is one of the few oldest standing hotels in western North Carolina, and is a stay you definitely want to experience, complete with great food served there by top-notch chef and crew. Appreciate
Oh,
this.
my
This is
pleasure.
awesome.